I can be anything you want.
I want you to be dead.
In the world of D&D, creatures like orcs, ghouls, bugbears, and other monstrous beings aren't just there to fill the pages of a bestiary. They're meant to invoke fear, challenge you, and push the boundaries of the bravery of your character. I want to delve into why these creatures should be treated with the respect they deserve as fearsome entities, not objects of fetishization. In gameplay, this respect for the horror element enhances the experience. When players encounter an orc horde or like lurking werewolves, the tension rises. They're monsters. The stakes feel real. These aren't bandits that can be reasoned with. They're especially not bandits, but green. It's not just about winning these fights, it's about the thrill, the strategy, and the survival. However, there's a growing trend to fetishize these creatures, turning them from menacing foes into something else entirely, often for romantic or humorous purposes. While creativity in fan art and fiction's not really discouraged, we gotta remember the essence of these creatures in their original context. Transforming them into something they're not can dilute the very tension and adventure that makes tabletop compelling. Orcs, for example, have a rich backstory involving conflict, tribalism, and a harsh environment. Reducing them to caricatures with romantic interest strips away their cultural depth and the moral complexity that they bring to the game. However, sometimes I feel like the annoying horny bard stereotype ruined D&D. Not just because it's a stupid joke and it's completely overused, but because people genuinely want to play that way. And that's just not D&D. Like when you see an orc, you're not meant to want to seduce it. When you see a drow, you're supposed to fear the power that its seduction brings. The same thing with tieflings and other demons. Without that, they're literally just humans. And at that point, why even have monsters in the game if they're just humans? That's a question that I often bring up, and no one really seems to have an answer other than, well, they're expected to be there. But the problem I have with it is if it adds nothing for these creatures to look different, why do they look different? As an artist, the appearance of a monster or any kind of character has to complement the character. You can't have Superman wearing a dark and scary outfit. It doesn't make sense to that character. So why is there a librarian who's this big hulking monster with green skin and pointy ears? What does that add to the character of a librarian? You wanted to subvert expectations? Well, the problem with subverting expectations is that people think it's basically a trend to subvert expectations. So writers or DMs or like anybody will try to subvert expectations by going against the norm. And the problem is now everyone is going against the norm, which makes that the new norm. So now, in order to subvert expectations, you have to go back to doing it the old way. So the very idea of subverting expectations is just dumb. It doesn't work. So never use that argument again. With that said, thanks for watching the video. I'm working on a webcomic about what it's like to grow up in a world of a tabletop setting when there's hundreds of thousands of monsters that want to kill you every day. Link to the Discord in the description. Link to my X where I talk about it all the time. Have a nice day.